Welcome back, my fellow mobile gamers of YouTube. My name is NimbleThor, and today we're gonna do something a bit different around here. We will be checking out a 2D MMORPG that I see is super popular, or at least used to be super popular, but that I've found incredibly difficult to get into, and frankly, just rather confusing overall. It's called Growstone, and unlike my traditional videos where I explain how a game works, what I like and what I dislike about it, in this video, I'll try to do the same, but I might also end up asking quite a few questions during this video out of pure confusion about this game. So if you have played the game and you know the answers to these questions, feel free to fire away in the comments section. The overall premise of the game, though, is that we mine ores to collect stones. You guys can see all the stones we've got here in our inventory. And then we kill monsters to get gold and to gain items used for crafting. So once we've collected stones for a while, our inventory fills up, and it actually does that very, very quickly. And then it's time to start combining stones to get a higher rarity of stones. So we can combine any two stones that look the same, and we can increase the strength of that stone. Now, our stones are also our weapons. So every stone in the first top row of our inventory up here, they are weapons. They are what we attack with, and they are used during combat. They're also used, by the way, to collect more stones, because you use weapons to collect stones. I don't question it. Just enjoy the game for what it is. It's a bit wacky, it's a bit weird, but I'm having a lot of fun with it as well. Also just a bit confusing, but we'll get back to that later in this video. So as you can see, I'm now combining and combining and combining, and slowly our weapons, our stones, are growing increasingly more and more powerful. So there we go. Now we have some more power for our little guy here. We can also go in here, by the way, to the stats, where we can upgrade the attack power of each of these stones. And this is what we need gold for, so this is why we kill monsters in this game, apart from to get the crafting materials, of course. And so, what sort of stone do we have a lot of right now? We have a lot of this 4 clover. So let's go in here and let's find that. And let's start upgrading that a bit. You guys can see in the top right corner of the screen that we have 6 million gold. So we have a lot of gold we can spend on upgrading these things. Let's upgrade these a few more times as well. And the dragon as well, which is currently, by the way, our strongest weapon. But this is just one way of growing stronger, by the way. Another way is to go in here to our buffs. And here, there are many upgrades that we can only buy through premium currency, which we, by the way, earn for free through normal gameplay as well. Of course, we can also buy it through in-app purchases, but more on the monetization system later on in this video. The important part is that there are some things you can upgrade through normal in-game gold, such as, for example, our power. Just a general stat increase to our attack strength. So, of course, that one is definitely worth upgrading. We've also got critical increase. We've got critical damage increase, so critical chance and critical damage. We can upgrade the amount of gold we gain. We can upgrade max HP. Very important to level up as well. And we can upgrade fishing, and we can upgrade our fishing rod. And what else? We can upgrade super combinations. So this is the probability to get a higher tier item when combining items. And look at this, by the way. Our inventory is all full again, so let's continue combining here. This actually reminds me a bit of those merge games, like, for example, Overloot, where we had to manage our inventory constantly. That's pretty much what we do in this game as well. Now, there is one more way we can increase our strength, and that is through these stat upgrades. And they are really powerful. We can increase our HP, we can increase our attack distance, which seems really useful, and I'll get into why later on, especially for boss battles, and we can increase our penetration. Now, we can't upgrade any of these before we have stat points, and we get 1 stat point by upgrading a stone all the way to level 90. So the easiest way to do this would be to upgrade the normal standard stone, because that's the cheapest one to upgrade. You basically just have to sit here and tap on the screen 90 times. Yep, you heard that right. There's no way to buy 10 upgrades at a time, or even 100 upgrades at a time, as we see it in some idle games. Now, already very, very early into this game, I realized that Growstone really seems to be an incredibly grindy game. And I guess for that reason, we have an auto attack mode, which is what we've been using right now, actually for the whole duration of this game. My character have been running around collecting more stones on its own, and that is using the auto attack and auto run up to enemies feature. There's also just an auto attack feature, and we can enable that like so. And now our character continues mining automatically, and if there were monsters, it would also attack monsters automatically, but it's standing completely still, and we have to use this joystick over here on the right side to run closer to enemies, and then our character will automatically attack. And then, of course, there's also the manual mode. Now, this is the manual mode here. We have to click, literally click the attack button. Now I use the full auto mode when grinding stones, and then I spend my time instead on managing our inventory, and when fighting monsters I use the half auto mode where it attacks on its own, but I have to move around manually, and the reason for that is that with full auto we'll definitely die in no time during combat, because if our character touches an enemy we lose a lot of HP, even more so than if we get hit by one of the attacks of an enemy. And if we don't use the full auto mode during mining, by the way, there's no way we're gonna have time to manage our inventory. We'll simply run out of space very, very quickly. We can upgrade the amount of inventory slots we have though, and we should actually do that. That is another way to spend in-game gold, and I'm gonna spend a lot of gold on this one. An upgrade at this point costs just about 70 or 80,000 gold, and now, there we go, it is upgraded to the max level. So this is the max amount of inventory slots. We do also have a bank though, where we can store the items that we don't need right now, but we still want to save for later for one reason or the other. So this is where I typically store my crafting materials. But going back to the auto mode real quick, I just wanted to point out that this game isn't an AFK game. It isn't an idle game, at least not early on into the game, but later on it seems that it can become a bit more idle, at least if you buy certain upgrades. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. If we go into the stats section and into the buffs, there is such a thing as the auto combine feature. I'm gonna buy that one right now because it allows us to automatically combine stones every 70 seconds, and then if we upgrade it, it becomes every 60 seconds, and so on. So this is a pretty slow auto combine feature, but nonetheless it's going to be pretty helpful, and if you upgrade it enough, I guess you can make this game a bit more idle. But my point is, you probably want to play this game actively. Now let's go for something a bit more exciting now. I want to head into a dungeon, so we simply tap up here and we can see we've got different types of fields we can go into to defeat normal creatures, but we can also go into a dungeon over here, and I want to go into the mine dungeon because defeating these mine dungeons is actually one of the fastest way of progressing in this game, because if we defeat the pebble boss golem, it will increase the tier of the normal stone we get when mining in this game. So that's a very fast way to progress faster. It basically means we won't get any more of these pebbles, and instead we'll get big stones as the standard stone, and that of course makes it a whole lot faster to get higher tier stones. So let's see if we can defeat this boss. There should be 5 waves, I want to say maybe 6 waves, and then a boss coming up. And right now we are in wave 4 and we're doing surprisingly well. We also leveled up, by the way. That is nice. I can definitely see that this is a lot easier now that we've upgraded some of our core stat points, and we've also gotten some better weapons. It was very difficult to defeat this one early on in the game, and I gotta say, most of the dungeons were actually incredibly challenging in this game. But once you've played a bit longer, it actually becomes pretty easy. Now look at this. Here is the stone golden boss, and we already defeated him. That was an easy one. So now we can simply exit out of here again. We got a pretty sweet reward as well, which, oh, we didn't have, I don't think we had room for that reward in our inventory. We would have gotten some more of these Hadouken, which is a pretty strong weapon, by the way. It takes quite a bit to upgrade your way to Hadouken, but that's no worries though, because very soon we will start collecting big stones. As a standard stone, I think we have to defeat this boss once more, and then we'll start getting those big stones. Now, I don't want to do that though. I want to show you guys some of the many other game modes we've got as well. So first of all, we've got channels over here, which is just mining channels, and this is just used to socialize with other players, chat with other players. That's the same thing you could do over here in the town. Actually, there's only 2 people in the Diamond Castle and only 1 in the English town right now, but hey, you can go in there, you can meet other players, and you can socialize with them. But we've also got team dungeons, which I think is pretty interesting because it's rare to see team-based dungeons in a 2D MMORPG. So we, for example, got the Tower of Challenge here, where you can look for rooms, and there's actually quite a few people playing the game right now. Look at all these rooms. We could choose to join one of these guys. Some of them are locked, but quite a few of them are open as well. And if we join these guys, then of course we'll have an easier time defeating this dungeon. Now you can have a go at these dungeons on your own as well, but I wouldn't really recommend it. And you are gonna spend one of your tickets, of which you only have 10 before you have to wait 30 minutes to get a new ticket. Now I want to go into one of these fields though. So let's head into the abandoned desert, and we're gonna do the normal difficulty level, which I think is going to be okay. It says that it recommends 120,000 in attack power, which we currently don't have. We only have 35, so let's see how difficult this is actually going to be. Oh, it's relatively easy. Maybe it was only 12,000 then? Actually, I think we might even be able to survive here with the full auto mode. Or maybe not. That Cerberus wolf there definitely packs a punch. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Wait. We nearly died there. We were losing quite a bit of HP. But I think as long as we move around manually and make sure to avoid getting hit by the wolf, we can actually survive here. So this is what I meant with having to play with manual mode or semi-auto mode, where we attack automatically, but we have to move around manually. Otherwise, you're definitely gonna die in these levels. Now, something I really don't understand in Glowstone, by the way, is this crafting system. I don't understand how it works, and it seems almost impossible to craft anything in the early game. And I don't mind crafting being a high-level activity, but we're shown during the tutorial how to craft, and then for the next many hours of gameplay after the tutorial, there's no way to craft anything. I don't know, confused me, but if we kill enough high-level creatures, we apparently get resources that we can use for crafting, and we can also get these same materials from certain crafting dungeons. And then once we start crafting, we have a percentage chance to get one of multiple items, by the way. So you're not even completely guaranteed to get exactly what it is you're looking for. Let me go show you guys here. For example, if we wanted to attempt crafting a hat, we could get any of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6, 10 different hats. And it would be a random chance of getting any one of these. And you also do have to wait for crafting to be done, by the way. This one is going to take 20 minutes to craft. It's not a huge deal that there's some RNG involved, and it's not a huge deal that we have to wait. It's just sort of a weird system, but maybe there's something I'm missing here, in which case, please do let me know in the comments down below this video. Something really cool, though, is that we can then sell the items we've crafted to other players on the item exchange. So this will be a great way to grow stronger much faster once we eventually get actually around to crafting items. Now, since Glowstone is an MMORPG, a massively multiplayer online game, there's of course also a chat system and even a guild system in this game. And at some of the larger raids, we also see lots of other players, which is really cool. It makes you feel as if you're part of something bigger than just yourself and your own character. And there's of course also PvP to dive into eventually once we're higher level, although I'm not a huge PvPer in MMORPGs, but it's there if you feel like trying your luck eventually. With all of that said though, there's definitely also a few things I don't really like about Glowstone, such as the really confusing tutorial. It's also pretty long, by the way, and I hate long tutorials. Very bad English translation of the game. It doesn't make the tutorial any easier to understand, by the way. And then lastly, a UI and just controls overall that are extremely clunky, and the controls just don't feel nice, and the UI is just very confusing. So there's that. It is clear that this game is rather pay to progress faster as well, and probably even pay to win, but there's still something incredibly addictive about the core gameplay loop. I really want to be able to defeat the stronger dungeons. I really want to be able to unlock new types of stones. I really want to craft high-level equipment, and I really want to join a powerful guild in this game. So I think I will keep Glowstone installed on my phone, and I'll just see where it takes me as a free player. I'm not going to spend any money on the game, but there's something intriguing about this game. If you've already played Glowstone, by the way, let me know what you think about it in the comments below this video. And let's now move on to the mobile gaming news of the day, which is that Slay the Spire, one of the most popular single-player roguelike deck builders on PC, is now finally coming to mobile. This is a game I've really been looking forward to, and it seems to be releasing this year already. Now, there's a very good chance it'll be a premium game as well, so at least we won't have to worry about the monetization in that game. So even though I don't really cover premium games very often here in the channel, I am really looking forward to playing Slay the Spire on my Android phone. So that was all for today. I hope that you enjoyed spending a few minutes here. Let me know if you're excited for Slay the Spire as well, and be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here, by the way. And then, until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around.